Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Hoops with JV. I'm Jad Vasquez here with my brother Jordan and my uncle Lou. Today we're going to discuss a few topics. So I'm just going to quickly. So can you guys see that? Got a new feature for us. So what we'll do is every topic we talk about, we're gonna have a good 2 minutes, solid 2 minutes, everyone to say their piece, and then we'll go from there, just so we don't keep people till the next day. So, all right, I'm just gonna put something out there. So there's a topic I want to say. It's called "What's Ahead." So, what teams caught your interest, or what teams do you have concerns with, and like what do you see ahead with that particular team? Like, do you see them making it or not making it in the playoffs or even the play-in? So, Uncle Lou, we'll start with you. I'll put 2 minutes on the clock, and yeah, let me know.
For me, the team that's really caught my eye, I'm focusing on Oklahoma City Thunder. They're playing their best games ahead, and it's just I think they picked up. I think they picked up where they left off. You know, there's a lot of star quality in that team. Their their chemistry is pretty good at the moment, and uh, and I think they're moving the ball really well, and yeah, but that's pretty much the my general view of OKC. I think everything's fallen into place for them at the moment. They haven't changed anything since the last championship, which I think is very important because I think they found the the there's a key ingredient that that's holding them together, and I think it's important that they keep the intensity at this level, and hopefully no one gets hurt. But yeah, I'm at the moment I'm really satisfied with where they're at the moment. So I think that's my take on OKC. That's the team I'm watching, and I'm quite certain that they might make back-to-back championship.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City is definitely a team not to be messed with.
yeah, man.
All right, Jordan, your turn. I'll start with you next.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with the Detroit Pistons this season. They kind of started slow, but they picked up the pace, and really surprised with the Detroit versus Washington game where Cade Cade had a triple double, but fuck, he took like 45 shots. But like it shows you that he's developed into a really great leader towards the team. And yeah, they're a group of young guys. You got Jalen Duran, who's playing amazing, being an amazing big man for the team. Um, you have um, you have Duncan Robinson, he's been quite slow throughout the start of the season, but he's also picked up his own pace, which is a great addition for the team. Um, yeah, and then you have Azar Thompson, same as Eamon Thompson, who's been playing wonderful defense for the team. And yeah, like these group of guys, like they don't have much veterans on the team, I should say. But it's surprising that they've climbed all their way to top one in the standings. Um, and I also have to add, like like throughout the years, Detroit has been in a really shithole. And you know, looking back, it's really nice to see Cade like sticking with the Detroit Pistons throughout the worst times and getting to this point where they're finally on top. I mean, also it's just the start of the season, but it's progress. So it's really nice to see how far they've gone.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I agree. Like the whole 45 points and like wait, 45 jump. You said attempts?
Yeah, that was
45. So you had 45 points and you had to shoot 45.
no. He had 46 points on 45 attempts.
God damn, that's a lot of shots.
Yeah, that was some Kobe shit right there.
That's some Kobe shit. That's some Kobe shit. All right. I guess I'll start. Um, for me, the team that I've been paying attention to obviously is the Lakers, but I'll talk about them later down the track. I'm mainly focusing on another topic as well there as well, the Golden State Warriors that I later down the track. Milwaukee Bucks, I paid attention to a lot to go with Golden State, primarily because I'm looking at the stars of their team and
Yep.
you can see that the help is not there. It's just we'll talk about the like. There's the same topic we'll talk about Golden State later down the track, but with to Milwaukee's point, it's when you see Milwaukee when Giannis sits out, who's their next option? Who's the first option, second option, third option? And I'm not seeing Kuzma stepping up. I'm not seeing Miles Turner stepping up. In
Yep.
fact, only person there that's been really stepping up to the challenge is Ryan Rollins. And even though Kevin Porter Jr. is not there, he's holding his own. He's finding his confidence and putting up numbers in there. But Miles Turner, I'm just really disappointed because again, we said this before. You're supposed to be that extra help for Giannis in the paint for me, but you're deciding to just stick to what you know, and that's the three ball. But we have so many 3-point shooters in the team. Not everyone's gonna have a good night and a bad night, and we kind of need your ass with your size in the paint. Like if Giannis is in the paint, why can't you be? I get everyone else on their team is all 3-point shooters, but you're the biggest. Like you and Giannis, that's it. That's all you guys are, and you guys are the two biggest factors here, and the rest kind of piggyback off you. But with Giannis, once he sits down, their whole confidence just goes out the window, and they just try to shoot their way out of it, and they just don't seem to get away with it majority of the times. So yeah, that's what I think was going on. But yeah, to your points, guys, I reckon I totally agree with both of you guys with your respective teams. Damn, I still can't get over that how many shot attempts for Cade. That's just that's insane. I mean, I
It is.
get yeah, it's like I guess with Cade, that is his team. Like he has to do something to get him out of it. The next topic I want to talk about is so the Dallas Mavericks. They finally they finally heard that the crowd firing Nico, and so that being said, they finally did. And Mark Cuban it looks like he's back on the table to managing the Mavs, trying to fix the roster. I don't know if it's a rumor, but from what I'm looking at, it looks like that is the case. So with and AD being out, he was out for a few games. I'm not too sure, John, is he back or is he still injured? Did he play? I think he played.
Uh,
There was a game today.
no, he didn't play.
He didn't play? Okay. So with AD being out and Nick got fired, what did the Mavs do from here? So should the Mavs stick with this roster or do you think it's time to like blow it up and start rebuilding from this point out? So with Jordan, I'll start off with you. 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, for me, with the Dallas, I feel like at this point, it's time to rebuild. I don't see AD being as healthy as he was with the Lakers because looking at his physical body right now, he's big. Aside from that, he's prone to injury, and the reason behind that is because Nico was rushing AD to get back on the floor, and he had a calf strain, which is a very serious thing because if you rush yourself to get back on court, you can definitely tear your Achilles, and that's what happened to him when he played his last game with the Mavs. Um, he somewhat was holding onto his Achilles. Um, and the medical staff warned AD not to rush back to the court. But again, I feel like Nico was on the verge of getting blamed for how deep the Mavs are in, and he needed someone to bail him out, and that was AD. But you know, at the end of the day, again, these type of injuries or recovery periods, you can't rush them, and it's it's kind of bothering me because like now it pushes you guys backwards now instead of moving on, like getting to improve. And like right now, I just really don't see AD getting back to himself anytime soon. And of course, you have Kyrie, who's still out till next year. And then you have Clay, who signed up to play with Luca and the Dallas Mavericks, and you can see how, he's just not himself. He has no playmaker for him. Um, D'Lo is just consistent at the moment, and then you have Cooper Flag just being him.
Yeah. Do you think Cooper Flag needs to do more now this year? Now that with
Yes,
AD
he
being
does.
down and Kyrie
It,
being down?
yep, like again, he's still doing him, and the fact that he's playing at a forward position, it shows you that this is what he's supposed to play at. Not, I saw this one post on Instagram where he had highlights and stats of him being a point guard, and the stats and highlights of him being a forward, and there was much more to show when he was playing at a forward.
Yeah.
And again, like he was never supposed to be a point guard in the first
Yes.
place.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, I totally agree. I'll start, Uncle Lou, and then I'll pass it on to you. So, what I think, with this one is, I'm glad Nico's gone, and we also said this at the beginning when they made the trade. Like, okay, they're obviously trying to win now, but and we said this with the before, but you're relying on Kyrie and AD. Now, once one of them goes down, the whole roster goes to shit. And the fact that now you got both of them out, and with the pieces that you surrounded them with the off season, they're not looking like they're gonna even make the play in, because you can see the struggles. To add on to that, Jason Kidd, like to your point, decided to put in Cooper Flag on the point guard position. What for? He's primarily, for me, I see him naturally as a small forward, and I thought that's the point of you bringing D'Lo in, because D'Lo is a point guard. He can facilitate.
Yep.
Cooper Flag's more about trying to get his shots, like get to his spots and make his shots. You don't expect him to make plays for others. And like you said, to your point, statistically, he's much better when he's on the forward position. And I think it's a mistake trying shit like that, especially when you don't even know. For us fans, we can see that your season is really on the line here. But to answer the question, I think they should just blow it up, because especially with Mark Cuban, I don't think he doesn't like this roster, how it was constructed from the start. Even though to us
Yep.
it kind of looked like it was pretty fun to watch in the preseason, but you can see realistically they don't have the firepower. So I think what Mark Cuban is going to do, he's going to clean house. He's going to make up for what Nico has done. He's going to look at trading AD. He has no choice but to keep Kyrie because of the extension, so you can't really trade him at this point. And then you might have to just Cooper Flag might just have to might have to tank and just let Cooper Flag be him this season, and then look towards next year. But even with AD back, you're still gonna be keeping afloat. All right, Uncle Lou, I'll put it up to you. 2 minutes on the clock. What are your thoughts?
First of my thoughts of I think it was just I'm not gonna say the right decision, for lack of a better word. Nico has had to go, but it's just because everyone's been complaining, even other players like Dirk Nowitzki. He even said that it's not right that he. Surprisingly, they traded Luka Doncic because they wanted to improve on defense. I don't know how that makes sense, but anyway, that's one of the worst moves. But in terms of I think with like roster, like at the moment, they have the starters. They have They have Brandon Williams. They have Cooper Flag, PG Washington. I'm not sure about Anthony Davis because I think he's got until next year to recover. So he's probably not going to play. So I think they're going to be substituting them for the reserve, the second reserves, D'Angelo Russell. I think Max Christie, Klay Thompson is going to be playing, and I think for center, I think they might. I haven't seen Najee Marshall that much, but I have a feeling that he might be subbing in for at the moment for Anthony Davis. But yeah, I think the Dallas Mavericks, that they're looking, the chances of making it to the next round is slim, I think. But I think it depends. But you got Klay Thompson. He might step up. I'm not too sure. But Cooper Flag needs to he needs to step out a little bit more from the previous game. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I think we all agree that this year it's just Cooper Flag, just get your foot in, get your confidence, get some points on the board. Just get to the field court, because it is different when you step on that court versus playing casually. Because casually there's no consequences, right? And then when you step on NBA court, everything matters. Every possession, every point, every rebound, everything matters. So I think this is just a chance for him to get his footing. But yeah, I feel like I think it's just best to just. It's like remember the Brooklyn Nets when they signed all these pieces that we're thinking, oh, Kevin Durant and Kyrie, like, you've got pieces, let's see how you do this time around, and then all of a sudden mid season they just traded, they just blew up everyone unexpectedly, and I'm just like, oh shit. So I was surprised people do that now in the modern NBA, in the modern season, where they just decide whenever they want, if they need to trade someone, they're just gonna trade them. Because I think back then they used to I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like back then when you sign players in the off season, it's usually they just ride it out the whole season, and then after that, then they decide if they want to re-sign or keep or trade players. But now it's just like, well, let's just try, let's see how you go until the trade deadline, and then get rid of them. And I was like, why would you do that?
They're making like business decisions now. They're not really looking at the chemistry anymore. It's like, just like they decide, hey, things aren't working out. Let's change it. Like at this moment, that's a business decision, rather than like you said before, they would hold out, and we'll see next season if we're gonna keep them and stuff like that. But they're not doing that anymore, because I think they don't want to risk it, like losing a lot of money,
Yeah, but it hurts the chemistry, don't you think, John?
It does.
Like if I sign,
they want an instant result. Like they think they can just put a team together.
Yes.
And then halfway through the season, things aren't working out. They make an emotional decision of like, hey, things aren't working out, and it's just leave them out for a second, because you need to build chemistry and all.
Yeah. Sorry, John. What was that?
Chemistry takes time to build. Like it just doesn't take half the season. Sometimes it takes years.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because
they could all be friends, but a lot of times at the end of the day, it's all about winning games, and sometimes being friends gets in the way of that.
Oh yeah. I think we can all speak from experience too that you can't really be friends when it comes to playing the game, because you're trying to lock in. Like you're trying to win the game. You just want to, like, I can't talk to you, laugh at you at the same time when I'm trying to win games. And I think that's the problem with management. They're trying to focus on just winning games, but you're not really seeing the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is obviously trying to win it all. I just think that, when you start at the end of the season, you look at the roster. I feel like most managers are not doing this. They're not looking at the roster and not looking at what flaws they have. They're not looking at the market and trying to patch those holes, and then look at it again and say, if we fix this, can they win it the next season?
Yeah.
And instead they're like, oh, if it's not working out, we just toss that piece out, put another piece in, and then let's just keep writing that up. Because to your point, Jordan, the chemistry, you need the chemistry for shit like that. Because if we're both shooting guards, we need to work on chemistry on who gets the ball, or like who comes in. But then if you're only gonna rent me out, even though you signed me up to a 2-year deal just to see you, and the chemistry doesn't work, you have to sign someone else. You have to build that whole chemistry again from scratch. And then by the time playoffs knows it, no one knows what to do. And then the play kind of just isn't as executable. Like it's not going to be as smooth because the chemistry is just not there. Do you think it's just bad management, Jordan or Uncle? Do you guys think it's just bad management? Do you think it's just bad scouting, or I feel like there's
it's a combination of both. I think the management, they need to recognize the players, and also the players, they need to acknowledge also their teammates. Like like if this guy's going to be the shooting guard, let him be the shooting guard. If I'm going to be the point guard, I'm going to do point guard stuff. Just take on. But I think as a collective, I think everyone needs to be on the same page. I believe it's not just management. Yeah.
No, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up because the next topic I want to talk about is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are dominating the league right now.
It's a headache.
Yeah, it's a headache to watch them because. All right, so the topic is, OKC's dominating. They're looking like they're going to repeat, and do we see that at the end of this in this season to come? I'll start it off.
Yep.
And so what I think is, from what I'm watching, not even the away games, it's the home games for me. The way that they're winning and the way that their chemistry is it kind of reminds me of, again, Golden State, from what I've said in the previous episodes, where they're just pure dominance. Everyone knows their role. The way that the roster is constructed from top to bottom, from management all the way down to the cleaners, everyone knows the roles and everyone enjoys their roles. The chemistry is just amazing to see, especially at the end of the games, during the interviews. Shea is just on another level. There's just no stopping him. And then even if you chuck in a double team, you can see in the games, if you try to double him and he just tosses that ball anywhere else, that person there is also a threat. Like Casey Wallace, or Lou Dort, or Alex Caruso. Like the list just goes on and on. It doesn't matter what player I throw in, what name I throw at you. Everyone's a threat, and everyone can cause movement.
Yeah.
Not everyone stand in the corner or stand in the 3-point line and wait for your superstar to do something. Everyone can move, and then everyone's a threat in the paint and at the three. And you can see at the start of the game, it's like when the opposing team is like, oh, it's 4-0, or it's 7-2, or it's 15-0. They're just so calm about it, and they just say, hey, let's just get a stop, make a play, and then get another stop, and then just keep repeating that. They're so calm about it.
Yeah.
They're not playing catch up. Instead, they're just like, okay, yeah, we finally understand how to win. Like we finally understand the game. I think that they're not only just built IQ, they've also built. They've not just built chemistry. They also built IQ. And so I think come playoff time, good luck. Doesn't matter who you are.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So to your point, what you said before previously, Uncle, I think I'll start with you. So, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, man. Oh, shit. But like everything you said is what I reciprocate. Like I agree with everything that you said. I think you said it all. What LeBron said. Like you got your of course you got your point guard Shea, SGA, man. He's like absolutely he's unstoppable. You got your shooting guard Casey Wallace, and then I like Chet Holmgren. I think Chef Holmgren has got he's got a great potential. He's got the moves, but I think he's a bit skinny at the moment. um, Isaiah Hartenstein and of course Lou and Stewart. But what you said about the like the chemistry of the team, they're so comfortable. You're absolutely right. That's what I was gonna say. That's the reason why they're dominating at the moment. Like what we discussed like before, as aforementioned, the management they haven't really put a foot wrong, and I think the players they recognize their responsibilities, and yeah, it's just the comfort like of things working out on like on their own. No one is above anyone, and it's like you're exactly right. Like when like say for example the like in the rebounding, or if someone falters, someone quickly immediately is right there to to step up, and I think that's the similar status that they had back last year, and they haven't changed a thing, and I think that it's working great for them, and I'm really rooting for them.
Yeah, I think we're all jumping on that OKC bandwagon real quick, despite our teams that we're going for. But
Yeah, man.
I can just see them. Good luck.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Jordan.
Okay. Well, started off, OKC is a headache to go up against. Being honest, they are a defensive menace. You know, Kayson Wallace is playing excellent defense on all superstars that the OKC has faced. And might I tell you, there's so many stats. It doesn't show on the stat sheets, yeah. But if you watch the actual games, he's he's defense for hounding people, for contesting shots, for giving him a hard time, walking down the court. Like fuck, it's incredible that you have an amazing player like this, you know, willing to willing to know his role on the team and being a defensive anchor. Although he is part of some offense, he's allowed to shoot stuff. But it's just really amazing how they got another Lou Dort, a younger version, a quicker version. Although, yeah, although Lou Dort is fast, but man, he's strong as hell. And it's really amazing on how this team got another gem. Um, from a really young player. You have the supporting cast again. All of these guys are hungry. I mean, Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, um, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein. Like these players are just like they just know what to do in order for them to win. And I'm gonna tell you, like there are some teams where you're supposed to have like these two superstars, three superstars, but these guys they don't mind not having the same spotlight as Shea or as the same spotlight as Jalen Williams, and that's the scary part. Just to add things up, Jalen Williams hasn't played one game yet, and they're the number one seed team.
Yeah,
So, in
man.
fact, there's more offense, there's more defense power for the Oklahoma City Thunders. And might I tell you, they're really looking to be the number one team or the team to get back on top or win it all again this year.
I agree. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was another player that I forgot to mention. AJ Mitchell. That guy has been filling in the shoes of SGA.
Bro, oh my God, I forgot to mention him as well. Yep,
Yeah.
you are
No, yeah.
right.
I forgot to add him too, but I like it's just weird because yeah, like he's just we focus on them. I forget that they got this player too, and he's even in the starting lineup, and he's already a
Yeah,
threat. Even when he's fouled, they managed and they don't count the basket. It's going in, and I'm like, this guy is. I give props to the scouts because the scouts know exactly what they need, like what they're looking for to help up the roster.
yep.
Like, do you guys agree that the definition of two-way player is the Oklahoma City Thunder, like each of their personnel
Yes.
is what a two-way player is
Of
supposed to
course.
be?
Full of two-way players,
Yeah.
yeah. Not
And
two-way contract.
Not two,
Just
yeah.
clear things up, yeah. Two-way players, like these guys know what to do. These guys know their roles. And these two-way players are, it's no, it's hard to find a team that has one consistent two-way player or
Yeah,
two consistent. But with the Oklahoma City Thunders, majority of the roster are two-way players that are consistent.
yeah, and I just that's what I've noticed, and I'm just like, you're right about
Yeah,
a headache, and I said good luck because the defense is the scary part. It's not even the offense for me; it's the defense. I guess Nico was right about defense wins championships, but I guess he was
yeah,
saying it for the wrong team because the way that they collapse. Have you noticed that in like even the highlights when they
yeah,
play, when whoever has the ball at the top, no matter where you go, there's always three bodies when they play 3-2. There's always
Yeah,
three bodies on the ball, and it
yeah,
pressures them so badly that they don't know what to do. Like oh, the ball doesn't know what to do, and then when they pass it off, the next person who gets it, they're like, oh shit, I'm scared about those three bodies come towards me. So their defense is scary, and everyone's got hands. Everyone's like can clean
yeah,
like
yeah,
are stealing the ball, like clean without even touching the person's hand.
yeah. No,
And
you're
you're
absolutely right. And with the with with the talent scouts, like they have all the right ingredients at the moment, man. And yeah, man, absolutely right. The defense is pristine, and also yeah, everyone is shooting. Yeah, everything's working out at the moment, man.
yeah, and to your point, Jordan, you're right because when Jalen Williams is not even playing, and they're still like it's next man. This is definition. Everything that all the other teams are saying, oh, next man up. Um, we've just got to step it up, and like we're like two way, like all these things that we're all saying. Oklahoma City Thunder is living to that standard and showing an example. And that's to me it's like oh shit I have to admit I've really been like sleeping on them saying like because I said they were gonna win a championship later but they
yeah.
just decided nah it's now it's
Now
like
we'll do it.
we'll do it right now thank you very much while we're young and while like everyone else is getting older let's take advantage of it and I'm just like it's just they're actually they're really fun to watch I'm just like I don't know for me it's just blue and orange just doesn't it just doesn't catch my eye. Like, but I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, it just doesn't. But then to see
yeah,
the way that they're playing, it's very enjoyable to watch, and it's not boring. I think it's if anything, we just like when you say headache, I feel like you enjoy watching because it's the suspense of like, can we get away with whatever strategy they're going? Like, can our team get past the defense?
yeah,
I think that's what it is. It's like
Yeah,
a horror movie. Like, can we get to the end? and that's what I'm like. I really like about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I'm watching more game of their games. Like I'm paying attention to them more
yeah.
than I'm probably at the same line as my Lakers and stuff like that. All right, the next topic I want to talk about is the Golden State Warriors. I just want to talk about their situation. I'm not sure. So, Uncle, Lou, have you been seeing the Golden State Warriors lately? Specifically, maybe
Yeah.
the past 2-3 games.
Yeah, yes, I have.
Yeah. Excuse me. All right. So well, I want to get your take on the situation of Golden State Warriors. Like, what do you think of them? How they're looking? Like, any concerns or what are your predictions?
No, not really concerned about anything. Um, it's just I think things aren't holding up together for them at the moment. At the moment, it's not holding. But Steph Curry's like he's the star of the team. But I mean, like Jimmy Butler's is playing great as well. You've got Jonathan Kuminga as well, and it's not it's not what it's not like things haven't been the way I recognize things is they haven't like progressed. I think ever since like Clay Thompson left the team,
Of
they
course.
haven't really been the same because I think that was for me watching that team they were that powerhouse, because like we were talking about complete player. I think Clay's one of them. I think he can defend, but in combination with you know in combination with Steph Curry, Draymond Green's defense, I think they were that was the championship caliber. But like what we've discussed before is, and you've said it many times before. Like you can have a great team, you have a great chemistry, but you take one out, and things don't work out the way they used to. And I think that's what's happened to them. And now I think they're just uh, like catching up, trying to fill the holes that Clay has vacated.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's getting there. But yeah,
Where do you
they just need to work on it a
where
little
do
bit
you
more.
see them in the playoffs? Like, can you see them in playoffs, play-in, not making it? Where do you see them?
I feel like at the moment I don't I don't see them making the playoffs, but things might change. I think only time can tell, because I can say uh, honestly they might not make it,
Mm-hmm.
but they might be working on a game plan at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's a fair assumption. No, that's a fair assumption because
Yeah,
I agree. That's one I agree in that as well. At some from what I'm seeing,
yeah,
that's actually where I
that's
might
where
put
I
it as well. Yeah, Jordan, what do you think?
Okay. Well, just to contradict what Uncle Lou said, for me, knowing you have Steph Curry, you know, you'll always be a playoff team. Um, it's just a matter of you know, like having the right players. Like they're still a developing team. Like I said, it takes years to develop chemistry, and my hell, they just got Butler last season, and they're still trying to work things out, especially with Kuminga being a starting forward for them, and they're still trying to develop a really nice young group of guys to work well with these veteran players, and you know, uh, it's pretty much just a process for at this point. I'm not saying they're gonna win the championship this year, but they're gonna progress for sure. Um, my take on the Warriors this season, they've just been going through their up and downs. When they lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder, when they got wrecked, like fuck, they got destroyed. Draymond Green made a statement saying that last season these guys were hungry, that the championship mindset, but right now it just feels like we're not that team anymore. And after him saying that, it woke up the group. And for the past two games that they played, which is against the Spurs, the team really held their own against a really healthy Spurs team, knowing that they're complete. Um, And might I tell you, Steph Curry scored, he scored 44, and then the game before that he scored was it was it 46
Yeah.
something. But at the end of the day, they got it done. And like I said, knowing that you have this player on your team, you guys will always be bound to head into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's that's the thing. I could see them in either scenario. I can either see them not making the playoffs to making the playoffs. Um, I think with the way that the West is going, they'll be at least eighth or ninth seed.
Mm-hmm.
So what I said at the start, I like the roster when they acquire like Al Horford, the Anthony Melton and Butler and all that stuff because they have in paint points.
Yep.
But in the end, you still rely on Steph Curry. You still rely on him to help you guys win games. To your point, I think he scored 44 today or 49, something like that. He had to score over 40 points, and they barely won it in the end. And
Yep.
the previous Spurs game, he had to score those 46 again to win. And like I said earlier with Giannis, when you take Steph out and you take Giannis out, who's the next in line to help carry the team? And Butler's supposed to be that dude, and I'm not seeing from him. He's very quiet. Like one game he's not here, and then the next game he's somewhat aggressive. But he's not consistent. I think for me, it's like maybe he's trying to save it for the playoffs. But when you
Yep.
saw Steph go down last season, I didn't. He was more passive in that game when on game five
Yeah,
was
get the Timber.
against the Timberwolves, and he was nowhere to be found. And I said, we don't need that. We need Miami Butler. We need
Yep.
bubble Butler.
We
And
need
so
takeover.
I need to see you fatigued, lying down, tired, getting to the free throw line. Like, you put everything out there. Like, I'm not seeing that from him early. I'm hoping he's just waiting till the end of the season, like to the playoffs, and then be serious. But it's the rest of the guys. I'm annoyed because even though the players that I mentioned that they acquired, the rest of it's still the same, and it's pissing me off because I'm looking at. So just to pull up, I'll quickly pull up if you guys can see this. Like, look at this is the roster between the like this is an example of a championship team, and then this is the way the Golden State Warriors are currently constructed, and then everyone here, like Brandon Projeski, Gary Payton, Bloody Hield, like all these players are so small. And then you're thinking of putting Draymond at like the center position. So like everyone's so small. And then you face this Oklahoma City team, and you saw reality when it hit you. They couldn't get a bucket against the Thunder. And so I'm like your whole, like, what I predicted was I was expecting, like, and I think Steve Kerr also agreed, like, um the points in the paint, but they're
Yep.
for Russ is generically just a 3-point shooting team, like find an open man shooting team, whereas the Oklahoma City Thunder is, read the room, like read the play, like read the field, like, and then go from there. But
I think you're absolutely right with the maybe they're just holding out and they're like reserving, I don't know, maybe reserving their strengths till they get to the
to the
to the next
playoffs.
round. Maybe they, I don't know, maybe they don't want to get hurt, or maybe they just don't want to force themselves at the moment,
Like, I get Al Horford, they're resting, but it's like, the rest of the team, like Quinn and Post, a center, yet you stand behind the 3-point line. I'm seeing you always standing behind the 3-point line. Brandon
Yeah.
Kajemski, I'm like, I just there was a you saw that Jordan, he had a fast break and Wemby was right behind him. I reckon he could have gone the layup, but then he paused and then it broke the play. It's
Yep,
like,
I saw that.
and I'm just so like, why do I even have you on the court? And I'm glad that Steve Kerr, like, the Spurs, the last game they just played, like, they decided to not put him in the starting position. Because you need to. I feel like you're supposed to put your best guys. There was a game I saw. I think it was the first Spurs game. They put Draymond at the 5. Like, hang on, I had the lineup here. They had. So they had Steph as the guard. No. They had Steph as the guard. Draymond as the shooting guard. Jimmy as the small forward. Kuminga power forward, and then Quinn in post
Forward. Yep.
as a center. When I saw the Draymond, the shooting guard, I'm like, you cannot be freaking serious. Taking
He's a
on the
power
center
forward,
team.
yeah.
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 And that's what Michaela said. Michaela's like, why is Draymond Green, isn't he a forward? I was like, why is he in the shooting guard position? And I'm like, this is what I knew. I'm not convinced. Like, I like the Warriors, but this is something I'm like, I thought they were my dark horse, but now I'm like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, no, you guys are not it. You guys are just not it, man. Like,
I think yeah, you're quite right about saying you need to put your best guys forward, and I think it's a mistake to put the good guys behind, like put in like second grade your second reserves,
yeah.
and then you're reserving the good players like for later. I think that's, to me, it's probably a mistake, but you're absolutely right. You need to put your best players forward.
Yes.
It's like OKC's best players are at the forefront.
Mhm.
That's why they're winning games. That's why they're at the top. And I think that's what needs to happen with with Golden State, man.
Yeah.
They need to put their best players forward. Absolutely right.
So, Jordan, who do you think if you were the Golden State Warriors, like just with the current situation, if you tried to save the season with this current roster, what is your best starting five with this roster constructed?
Me personally, I would choose Al Horford at the 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put Jimmy Butler. Sorry. I'd put Draymond Green at the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler at the 3rd.
Yes.
Hope no one fights me over this, but I choose Buddy Hield as a shooting guard.
Yes.
And you have Steph.
I literally put him in my 2K. I literally put that starting 5.
Yep.
Because
that's
your best. That's not only your best. That's your most experienced starting 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we all know how Alfred's really great at the 4. If it doesn't matter, but he's great at that position. Like I'm so glad we're brothers, bro. You get me?
Yeah, man.
Because Buddy Hield's a shooting guard.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But like, it's like sometimes Steve Kerr will put him at the 3 or the 4. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, you do know there's bigger teams out there, and you're trying your tactic. For me, I feel like it's a Steve Kerr thing. Like, this is all he knows. Like, this is the only system he knows. But he doesn't. I think reality hits him that he doesn't want to admit that you don't have the veterans that you had before. Like, you don't have those players anymore, and you're trying to find it in young people. But young people, like puppies, you have to train them. And it's hard to train them when Steph is, getting older. And you got rid of, like I said, Uncle Luke, you got rid of Clay. That's a big hole.
Yeah.
I was not convinced
but
when.
Go.
Yeah,
it's. I think it's a shame because like Gary Payton's son. Of course, Gary Payton is like he was a great player for the Seattle SuperSonics, but I don't see any resemblance with his son.
Oh, defensively, yes. It's just that it's kind of he's a very good defensive factor when it matters most. But I feel like,
and also I like Pat Spencer's energy. I'll probably put him in front.
Spencer, Pat Spencer.
Yeah. So if I was to put him, it's for me it's Steph Curry, Jonathan Kuminga, Jimmy Butler, Draymond. But I think
who's your center?
I'd probably leave Al Horford at the moment.
At the 5, okay.
Okay, because I thought you said you wanted to put Pat Spencer at starting 5, and I was about to say if you were ever to do that, please shoot me with a shotgun.
But but that's like we all have our I reckon our chosen players, but that's just me.
But the thing is, it's funny because like we can all see literally that starting 5 that you named, like that's the best starting, like that makes sense because that's the natural positions.
Not only that, it showed last season, the playoffs run against the Houston Rockets. You saw what Buddy Hield can do for them at the shooting guard when they had that line. When they had although they had Quinton Post at the center that time, not Al Horford.
Yeah.
And tell you that team, that starting 5 was really good, and Buddy Hield he was the King's version. He was shooting lights out for Golden State during that playoff run. And it's really like for me, it's just kind of sad, that they moved him backwards instead of moving forward with him. And, there are games where I've been seeing him playing like 16 to 18 minutes a game, whereas back then he was playing to 25 to 30. It's just like, fuck, you guys are setting another setback instead of trying to go forward.
Yeah, the thing I hate about this is what I see, but this is just what I see. People are trying to say, I'm gonna try this lineup out during the season. But when you keep trying shit, like keep testing, will this game work? Will this game work? Like, let's just keep trying this. Come playoff time, you're like, oh shit, we're gonna go with, let's go with Steph Curry, Buddy Hield, Jimmy Butler, Draymond, and you should already have a starting 5 at the start. None of this trying shit, because when the playoffs come, there's no time to say let's try this roster. Like you have to, once you pick a starting 5. You have to stick with it because it's the best at this point now.
Yeah.
Like even though how many games have they've only played like about what 12 games, Jordan? 13? Let's like 14 games,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 9 and 7. Sorry, 7. Yep, 6 and 7. They played 13 games.
13 games. So you're
Mhm.
13 games in, and you're still not sure of your your starting five. Whereas the Denver Nuggets already know what their starting five is looking like. The Houston Rockets already know what their starting five is looking like. Oklahoma City clearly knows what their starting five is looking like. Like the teams that are already ready for playoffs now, they already know what they're doing. They're just, you know, I wouldn't necessarily. They're not even trying different rosters at the start just to see how they go. They know what their starting five is. It's just that they're just off their playbooks. They're just trying shit. But when you try to do your starting lineups, we come back to Jordan. We come back to Ugly. We come back to momentum. It's all about momentum at the start.
Yeah.
And if you're putting different lineups up there, the confidence is different.
Yeah.
Because let's say Uncle Lee, let's say you and Jordan are the starting have always been the starting lineup, and I'm the sixth man. Now, so if I don't know what's to come, if you say, "Oh, Jad, you're the starting, you're replacing Jordan at the for the shooting guard position tomorrow," my confidence becomes, instead of, "Oh yes, I get to play too," it's like, "Oh shit, this is something different for me."
Yeah.
And then it's just the confidence just becomes like it becomes like a roller coaster.
Yeah, especially
So
for me.
Because yeah, indecision is what gets you into trouble. Like if all of a sudden you're going to change things, it only reflects on your skills as making decisions. Because you're absolutely right. At the start, you need to be decisive. This is who you're going to play with for the like entire season. Because if you're changing like halfway through and then you decide to change, that's a reflection on you, on how how disorganized you are with the franchise.
absolutely. Like, oh yeah, like, don't you agree? Do you think, John? What do you think? That's how I see what I'm noticing when people like they're tonight's starting lineup. Oh, they're gonna start Brandon Kujetski at the five. Like,
And
they
then you
play.
have Bill Richard at the second. Uh, it's a Steve Kerr thing, and I'm not really surprised on throughout the years that that's always been his pattern every season. It's like I need to find the right ingredients before come playoff time, and it's just, thing is with me, like I'd rather have my starting five now so that you can build something from there. You could develop more chemistry, more offensive schemes for that lineup.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
again, like you see, like look, you have four players who know their role with Steph Curry on the floor. They know what to do. You take
Mhm.
Steph Curry out, it jumbles the system. You know,
Yeah.
and for me, like again, it works the same way as well. Like you have if you like Steph and Draymond have always played together, but you take Draymond off, it throws out it throws out the entire system for their play.
Mhm.
Like they play in a system, and you take one component out, it it jungles everything. And for me, I feel like with changing starting lineups, it'll never be fixed. Like you'll never have a proper system, knowing that you keep juggling
Yeah.
people, changing people into the starting lineup. And for me, I just don't know. Like you have the talent there, but I just really don't get why you always have to toggle with the starting five. You have to toggle with players' minutes. Next thing you know, this guy plays 50 minutes this game. The next game he sits out, and like, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, fuck,
Yeah.
we're supposed to be moving forward. We're supposed to be developing these young guys. But
Yeah.
when this guy plays good, the next game he doesn't play 1 minute, then plays a few minutes the next game. And
doesn't look
yeah,
good on yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's what I noticed with Warriors with
Yeah.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah. Just before we go, we're gonna take a quick break. I just want to quickly say, I was trying to find a way how to like poetically describe this situation because, and the only thing I can think of is it's like a car.
Yep.
With Oklahoma City Thunder, they've built from scratch from a shit car. They found the right pieces. They made a car. They made it work, and it took them all the way. And now the following season they've just made sure that they've got the same pieces, you know, to
Take good
substitute.
working order.
You know, like so, like if an oil needs changing, they've got the same oil. If a door goes missing, like let's say HGA goes missing, you've got, you know, someone else to step up to fill in that as the secondary door to close the door and keep it going. You know, with the Warriors or the Clippers, for example, these teams, they constantly keep changing parts out, thinking that trying to keep this car going, but it ends up they end up keep breaking down, breaking down to the point that it's just gonna stop. It's gonna die.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you gotta have momentum. But you have to know what you want from the start. And I hate that because when you think about the end of the season, as an audience, we're thinking what changes are they gonna make? For the managers, they have to start thinking like Oklahoma City. We need to start thinking about a solid roster, a solid five, and then solid depth. And can we see this roster throughout the whole entire season? Not let's see how they go till the trading deadline. All right.
Yes.
So what I'll do is I'm just gonna take a quick break, and then what we'll do is we'll get back and just talk about the final topic, which is the Lakers.
Bet.
All right, guys, welcome back. So the last topic we're going to discuss is the Los Angeles Lakers. Currently, I think they're 3-2 on the road. They were 3-2 on the road after today's game against Milwaukee. Just a quick one. I'm going to ask around the table. Like, what do you think of the state of the Lakers? How do you think? How do you find them without playing with LeBron? Like, how do you think they're going? And what do you think when he does get back? How will it affect the team? 2 minutes on the clock. I'll start with you, Jordan.
To me, you know, obviously LeBron's a really fantastic player. It's really nice to see that this young group of the squad is doing well. They have their ups and downs, and majority of the time, they rely on Luka and Reeves to carry the team. But with that being said, it's really nice to see that these young guys are developing into a really great squad. Although adding Marcus Smart in the beginning, I was like, man, what are we doing? He didn't do much for Washington. He wasn't doing well for the Lakers during the preseason. But now seeing how far the Lakers have gone this season, I just like his addition. He's defensive anchor. He's mentality. Like when you need defense, you can rely on him to give you that. It's really great to have a really nice guy like him on the team. DeAndre Ayton. Where can I start off with him? It's really nice to see that he's slowly coming back into himself. JJ Redick has done an excellent job unlocking his potential. Like back with his Phoenix days. I'm seeing so many resemblance now from him. And like I said the other day, sorry, not the other day, like the previous episodes about him and Luka not being the primary pick and roll. Now he is. Like fuck. Him and Luka have a nice such pick and roll game, and I like the fact that he's floaters, he's hook shots, he's rebounding, his defense really good, and I really like the fact that the Lakers got him for a really good price, and Luka, Austin Reeves is such a nice duo. For me, the Lakers should definitely build from these two, starting from this point on. If LeBron leaves, either this season or the next or a couple of years. God knows when. Don't let these two go.
Absolutely. Uncle Lee, what do you think?
I think at the moment they're progressing quite well. Luka Doncic, of course, he's the top but he's got great support with Austin Reeves is playing really well at the moment, and I think DeAndre Ayton is doing a magnificent job as a defender, and he's really put his foot forward. He's got great moves, but in terms of I'd really love for LeBron James to get back on the court, because I think he's he's rehabilitated a little bit. I think he's had a little bit of rest, and I think that sort of comes into factor. I think he's itching to play, but like things will change as soon as he steps on that court. I think just watch the Lakers like improve because he's such he's dominant player. He's a phenomenal player, and I think he's the only player that I'm waiting for to help out with like especially with like Luka Doncic, you got Ayton, Austin Reeves. Like these players are they make a great team, and I could confidently say that they'll make it through the playoffs, provided LeBron comes back. So that's how I see it there for the Lakers.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you guys. The one thing I would just add, though, for me, is that it's great that they're winning games. It's great that I'm seeing a lot of ball movement, a lot of not everyone's just being stagnant sometimes. And JJ Redick like holds everyone accountable, and he's going to tell you to your face. I love what I'm seeing from him. The only problem I have with is, again, obviously, is you're relying on Luka and Reeves so much that even when one has to sit out to rest, you're relying on Luka, and then vice versa with Reeves. It's like they're just, they're like just floating. Like they're just trying to stay on top, like just marginally. Now, at least what I like about it is you kind of get a picture of when LeBron goes. You kind of already see like the foundation that's there. So you're absolutely right to keep like they just need to add from this point on. Fortunately enough, it's not gonna be for a while. Like you can't add to adjust to LeBron. They've already told that they have to. They're building around Luka.
Yep.
So that's exactly what they're doing now. Is they're just trying to find the right pieces. And with LeBron there, he complements them. But at the same time, I feel like when he comes back, the chemistry is going to change. Like the system's going to change a lot because now that Luka and Reeves have the ball, they get to make their shots. LeBron has to contribute in some way. So if he has to be LeBron, Luka and Reeves, their production has to go down, and I think it's going to hurt the team now versus what they're doing now and in the future because you're going to start building around them. But in terms of winning now, I think the sooner LeBron comes back rather than wait for the playoffs, we can sort of see what it is. But for me, just point blank, I just don't see them. I see them in the playoffs. I don't see them getting past the second round. I feel like this. I feel like if they face Minnesota, let's just say if they face Minnesota again, they learn from that mistake, they get past that. But then the second round or under that, that's it. It's done. Because, like you said, with Aiden, I like what he's producing. Like this is Phoenix Aiden, and you finally have a center that can put up like what he's meant to do. He can put points up. You guys saw the Milwaukee game. I saw a lot of times where Jackson Hayes has the ball in the middle and he looks to pass it. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And
that's what I don't like about Jackson.
That's the whole thing I hate about Jackson. Like, there's not enough offense there, even though they're winning games and people are like amazed by it. But you're not looking at the bigger picture. Like, there's just not enough firepower there. Like, the depth is just not there. But they are winning games. And they're playing together, which is what I like. But if you face Houston or Oklahoma City, even arguably, let's say you face Denver again, it's gonna be tough because your roster's kind of small. Like we keep saying, small. One last thing I wanted to add was I like that they drafted this guy. I forgot I don't know how to pronounce his name. Adu Theodore.
Yeah.
Young guy. Yeah, young guy, big. I think he's a good complementary sub for Rui Hachimura at the power forward position, which is size. Just need to give him time. But yeah, that was just my thought. Do you guys think that it like what do you guys picture? Just real quick, what do you guys picture if LeBron comes back? Do you see them? Let me first. I predicted that second round. That was it. Do you guys think otherwise with LeBron with this current roster?
Uh, I see the same as well, and I see them being at like the 5th or 6th seed in the West. And I see them just staying at the second round and nothing forward after that.
I think we're all on the same page on this one. But you know what I think? Provided that LeBron James comes back, coincidentally, Hachimura will be in great shape, and you know they're all complete. They all play together.
Yeah.
I think they'll be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see how they like the way that the winning the teams that they lost to? I was a bit shocked that's where I'm a bit. That's why I'm not as convinced.
Yeah.
Like, how do you lose it to Atlanta? Like, how do you nearly lose to the Spurs? How do you lose to Portland? Like, like these easy games that you're supposed to win on when they don't have their players, and yet you still lost. Like, I think it's just that's where I'm not convinced. Like, they're, like we go back to the roller coaster comparison. They're just like we don't know what's gonna happen like on and off. Like today, I was surprised they won, to be honest, against Milwaukee because I thought Giannis was just gonna destroy everyone. But when you sub him out, look what happens. Yeah. So, I wish I could say like we have a chance this year, but given what we learned last year, and the pieces that we learned from, it's just we can only get past the first round. I just don't see them getting past Houston, or clearly they can't even get past Oklahoma City. I don't care if you're home or away, or even if two of the starting players are out. You're not beating this team. You're not beating these teams. But it is nice to see. And then what do you guys think of their schedule up ahead? Because the first 5 games, just tell me win or loss between both of you. So I'll start off with you, Uncle Lee, and then we'll go around. Just tell me if it's a win or loss. So the first 2 games, they're facing the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
Win.
Win for both?
Yes.
What about you, Jordan?
Me, it's a win for both.
Win for both. And then they've got hang on, I had the roster, I just lost it. Okay. So they got Jazz, and then they have the Clippers.
The Clippers one is kind of sketchy. Depends on who's going to be sitting, because there are games where Lucas doesn't play straight. Like there are games he chooses to sit out on. Games where he decides to play. With the Clippers one, I might have to say they might probably take an L on that.
You too, Uncle Luke?
Yeah, I'd say loss. That's a loss.
See, for me, I feel like even if they had both Reeves and Luka playing together at the same time, and even the Kawhi being out, I just think the veteranness in the Clippers, I still think it's an L for the Lakers. I could be,
And they're big.
Yeah, they're big. Like they've got everything.
They're big. Yep.
Mavericks.
Win. That's a W.
That's
right
a W,
there.
yeah.
Luka's gonna go off.
Luka's gonna go off. Imagine he sits out.
No, he ain't gonna sit out. He's gonna show them, y'all fucking traded me. This is what y'all gonna see.
It's gonna be like, where is Nico? Where is?
They're gonna be like, screw you, Nico.
Hey, Mark Cuban at the other game might come back. Hey, you want to come back? I'll give you guys.
You made a mistake, man. Listen.
Hey man, he fucked up, but I'm back. So what do you say we undo what we did, and just come back here like it never happened. Did you guys see that there was this thing that Gil's reading that was saying, like, because now that Mark is like taking over, Gil thinks, like, real quick, if they're gonna get rid of AD, like, Lakers, we'll take him back. We got some picks for you. Like, we'll take AD back, and you can
imagine that.
Yeah, but we'll keep Luka. We're keeping Luka though, but we have some picks here. And I'd love to take AD off your hands. So, I feel like that's something. Like, I'm like, it's not like, I know it's might be impossible, but anything's possible. Like, I feel like it's it's a possibility. Because I just think Dallas is definitely going to blow it up at some point. Like, might not be the upcoming game, but definitely before the trade deadline. trade deadline, that they're definitely gonna move people around, like a lot of pieces around. But
I agree on that.
yeah, so yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you for another episode of Hoops with JV. I'm Jab Vasquez here with Uncle Lou and my man Jordan, who is about
Thank
to.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time, guys, and thank you for everyone for listening. Yeah, I hope to catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Catch you guys.
Peace.
Peace.